Hello and welcome to Raising Your Isness, where we help you remember that you come from the source. Today let's talk about what is happening to you, every one of you. Why are you feeling tired? What is going on to your energy field? Just like with many, we're feeling it, experiencing what is called that shift. It's causing everyone to go within and discover what is it that is connecting us to the source. Looking within is very important for many reasons. For example, the trials and tribulations in life, the patterns. Why is this happening? Or, for example, why do you attract similar situations in your life? What is happening within that is causing being on a loop of the same? It could be unconscious beliefs, even the ones that you could not possibly realize or even imagine or agree with. Internal narcissism, passive-aggressive, abuse of power, anger, and so on. Those are all introduced polarities that each and every soul wants to experience in order to become a mature, adult soul, so to speak. And the reason why is to become that conscious co-creator, to have more of that great ability to co-create, meaning responsibility, meaning great powers to imagine and make things happen. Alchemize. In order for that to happen, you must go through experiences that would teach you, test you, and show you if you can handle or you cannot. And that is why certain situations repeat, so that you could see if you can handle. And when you pass your own test, then you are ready for the next level. The underlying strength to the test is always trust in your soul. Trust in your soul's path, in your soul's heart. Trust that the source will never leave you hanging, that it will realize itself through you. That is your mission. And whichever way, that is up to your unique self. So as you are going within, discover, find out, what is it that is making you unique? Perhaps that is what the world is needing, is what the galaxy is needing, is what can help the omniverse expand. Each ingredient is needed for this overall ascension. We wouldn't be getting so much help from other beings of other dimensions. There wouldn't be so much interference if the human wasn't so special. The human is famous for its multidimensionality, tenacity, survival skills. Think about human civilization, always surviving through wars, famines, diseases, and whatnot. Somehow always surviving. Why? Is it possible because the human is loved? If you think of other civilizations, other existences you might remember on other planets, long times ago, the annihilation and whatnot, the human is surviving. Why? The human is special. The human is divine. And it was all worth it for those that wanted the human to thrive. Because the human will show the truth of the source is love. That through the most difficult times it believed and it made it. Made it to its light, made it to its highest capacity, and always moved forward. Throughout times, revolutions, renaissance, ages, steps, whatever it is, we made it. And we're making it happen. We're coming back constantly. And this is why now is different. So that we don't have to have the urge, the need to constantly come back on the same loop, trying to prove ourselves something. Proving is no longer needed. Now it is the being of that light being, working your light worker. If you can. There's always this choice. The choice starts from the lowest levels. For example, choose a tea or a coffee. Until you realize to the highest, not only that there is no choice, there has never been a choice. When you come from the source, you are the source. What is there to choose, right? So then the question is, then why is there so much drama, trauma? It is because the light, in order to realize itself, needed to know its opposite, the unlight, or what is called the dark. The dark could go as deep as unimaginable. So does the light. It goes to the brightest that the physical body can't even handle. And so here we are. The shift is happening where the energy that refuses to see itself, it will do everything it can to prove that it's right. And the other, what you would call the light, is going to do everything it can to prove itself that it's right. Because it's not about that. It is when you rise above that choice and the need to see those both polarities, when you can see the both, and you can meld and mold to that which you want to be as a conscious co-creator. In order to be given those keys, it is important to experience the both, hence multiple lives. We're living through unprecedented times, right? These energies, frequencies, upgrades are coming in for everybody. Just like the sun will be shining on everybody, not skipping. Just like the rain will be raining on everybody, not skipping. So do these energies. The more of your inner work you did, and I'm not talking about the length of time. It's that inner work that is quantifiable, the one that is quantifying itself. So you plant a seed within you, you cultivate it, and then it brings the fruits. That's the one. So it's about quality, not quantity. The more of that inner work you did to becoming consciously that Christ itself, the more attuned, tuned in you become. So sensitive to these energies, to the point where every time you feel, you start questioning, oh, what is happening? And instantly you're getting the answer, oh, it's because this is left to be resolved. Let's say to those that are curious, but perhaps haven't done that much of the inner work, it is confusion. And so looking for answers, going everywhere, whether on social media, publications, books, whichever way. Those that haven't done much of that inner work won't be able to feel it until they see, actually, something happening globally. And it is approaching, and it is already here, where there will be more, and it's going to be subtle for you to pick it up. The light worker picks up on that and works the light. Light worker, alchemizing, taking what is of not that good of a quality, turning it into a diamond, while making self a diamond. So here we are, every day doing this inner work, on the schedule. Meditations, reading books, chanting, studying courses and whatnot. And perhaps not realizing that these are actually bringing good results. Thinking that just because in the physical it's not making any changes, perhaps it was for nothing. Not at all. In fact, you are strengthening yourself for the next, and then the next. It is important with every shift to be able to quote-unquote graduate. Graduate with certification of self-love. Every shift, every time there's something new, it is to better yourself. And again, it is up to you to grow that one, to have that one. Do you have a list or a description of that better you? Who is that? Who are you, the better version of you? You may journal, create that list, so that you know what needs to be updated, worked on. Let's pick emotional. If, for example, you see a pattern of depression, lack of joy, self-judgment, perhaps even self-loathing, usually it goes hand in hand with anger. Anger towards others, anger towards self. It is important to not judge yourself for that. And especially to not judge another who might have similar traits, but because you might not notice that within you, you think another one is that bad. So, what is it that is making you feel that way? One of the main components to surviving that, to graduating from that, would be forgiveness, of course. Forgiving another who did you wrong. Forgiving self for even involving into a circumstance that created that uncomfortable situation. Forgiving yourself if it lasted for a long time, perhaps even decades, because you had an excuse, and now you wish you wouldn't have waited. Well, the thing is, it's important to not judge yourself, because back then you had a reason probably, and so back then that excuse was valid, otherwise you wouldn't be in that situation for that long. But if right now you're not in that situation, it is easier to say, oh, I wish I didn't continue. So you're judging yourself for nothing, but it's hurting you. Because judging self is separating you from your own presence, being with your I am. If you're not with your I am, where are you? And if you're not with your I am, what's the point? So, forgiving self, forgiving even the circumstance. Because in order to create the circumstance, it does take you and another, one or two or many, to create that which you wish never happened. And learning from the situation. The soul is very curious, and it loves to learn, something that you need to make peace with. This is why the situations repeat. Because the soul wants to realize itself. It wants to learn, very curious. And so when we come in the physical, what do we hear left and right? Ask and you shall receive, ask and you shall receive, ask and it's given. Because when you come into the physical, there's this veil of forgetfulness, amnesia. It has to be, otherwise it would be difficult. Because if you would always remember that memory of being with light, or being in those realms where you don't need to work, pay the bills, worry about health and whatnot, then you wouldn't be paying attention to this realm. And this realm is very important to help humanity to move forward. There are many realms out there, and you might remember them from your dreams. You might think they are your dreams. But just like any reality you wake up from, how do you know which one is a reality, which one is a dream? And it's not about the reality or the dream. It's all about this experience / experiment. I'm laughing because when I first figured that out, I cried. And so now I'm laughing. It took some mastering to come to terms with that. Because when we're in the physical, we always take things personally. And when you take things personally, you're stifling your own moving forward. When you don't take it that personal or that serious, then you are given this gift to see the situation, even a turmoil, from a higher vantage point. which is very important, because when we go through turmoils, this is when we remember to pray, right? And when we pray to the consciousness that we believe knows more and can see the situation better, and knows the future and knows what to do about the situation and how to get out of it or fix it. How is it that we have that faith? It is within us. It's engraved because we come from the source, and we know that source is expansive. It's omnipresent. And being multidimensional, you have this gift, ability that needs to be awakened within you, awoken within you, to tap in to those realities. And off you go, meditating, studying, quieting the mind, and that all is good. Please realize that every little thing you do brings results. Every one of your prayers, every one of your tears, every smile, it goes in your records. Call it Akash, call it the pool of knowledge, whatever it is. It is recorded for your own research as a soul. After each of your lives, that's what you visit. You say, okay, I had this task for this lifetime. I did this, oops. I was supposed to do this with this person, and we had a big fight. Now we have to repeat. Now is a different story, because now humanity is going through this shift where you have a choice to let go of all of that. Cut those contracts, to no longer need them. Unless you do want them, but you no longer need them in order to progress. Because it took that many tears, that much of the bloodshed throughout all your lifetimes, being the victim and the perpetrator, to finally decide, after wanting to play, games won, games lost, game over, done, no longer want to play the game. What is there to believe? That breath of life that is breathing your body, that one within you that always lives, the one that doesn't have the beginning or end, the foreverness, the eternity within you. It all sounds wonderful and liberating. The thing is, you gotta apply that. This is how you progress. That is the reason why on a soul level you wanted to come in to become here as a human, to realize your dreams. The dreams of becoming that conscious co-creator who can have all those keys to the wisdom, the knowledge, and to create new worlds for the highest good of all. To receive the keys to the ancient wisdom so that when you are ready, you are given this responsibility to create the worlds for the highest good of all. How you were created, you would be creating. And it goes on, limitless, infinite. That's you. Now zooming back into the human nowadays society that is heavily medicated, malnourished, depressed, sad. This is what the Lightworker needs to work with. First, within yourself. Processing it, filtering, illuminating what needs to be replenished, what needs to be updated, and what needs to be eliminated into the source, into the light. And as you work on yourself, it will be easier to help another. As you love yourself, you will realize how much you are connected to another, and you will equally love another. It is that important. So working on that emotional evolution, not bypassing, not taking that detour, avoiding, but always facing. There is a reason why situations repeat. There is a reason why when something happens, you automatically go into that state. So find that. And the tools are out there, but most importantly, they're within. Everything is within in order for you to gain that eternal peace. This is beautiful. This is grand. This is magnificent. And that you are. I honor you for being so courageous and brave to be able to face your own polarities. It is coming for everyone to see their both polarities. It is coming for you to face your ego, to face that God within, to face that love within, and to face that hate within. To face that light, to face that dark, and until you understand that it has never been about a choice, because there has never been a choice, then you will scream with joy and you will say, I am that I am, and that's all that is to it. And to that, your own you is going to say, welcome back, beloved. Welcome home. You are honored, appreciated, and deeply loved. Thank you so much for being here. The God in me sees the God in you. Namaste.